Okay, so worst Mother's Day ever. It all started off at 7 o'clock this morning, which is the normal time that we get up at here. Um, my youngest son, usually if I bring him to bed with me, I can get another 2 hours out of him. Usually he wakes up at 6 though, so which is nice because there's no way in hell I'm getting up at 6 in the morning. So, anyways, we get up. He's crying, screaming, and pissed off because apparently he's hungry, and when his eyes are open, he needs food like yesterday. So we get up. The dogs start crying and whining because they want to go outside because they have to pee. So I throw them outside. We get up, give them some food. Now my youngest starts crying and screaming again because he drops his cereal on the floor on purpose and now is pissed off that he doesn't have any. So I give him some more. And peace is restored for a little while. Then, for some reason, it is now 10 o'clock. I go down to switch laundry, and my oldest comes downstairs saying that he put his brother's coat on. I'm like, okay, why are you putting his coat on? We're not going anywhere right now. Then I hear screaming from upstairs, and I'm like, oh goody, now what's going on? Thinking that somehow my oldest has managed to wrap some kind of string around his brother, and he's now choking to death. That's why he's screaming. But then I was like, his coat doesn't have any strings on it. What the hell? So I run upstairs to see my youngest standing there in a pile of goo, surrounded by goo, with goo on his head and his face, and rubbing his eyes and screaming because he's covered in goo. I was like, what the hell is this? What is he covered in? Not knowing, because I just came upstairs and the shock of seeing him covered in goo kind of freaked me out, that it's shampoo. Until I look on the floor and I see that it's shampoo. An entire bottle of shampoo is sitting on my youngest's head as he is screaming because it's in his eyes. So, um, with that, I take him and I throw him in the shower, and then I take my oldest one, give him a butt smack, send him to his room. So now, instead of having one screaming kid, I have two screaming kids. One kid is screaming because he's got shampoo in his eyes and he's in the shower, and the other kid is screaming because he got shit and is now in trouble and in his room. Probably about half an hour later, the screaming has stopped. The oldest is running around the house, happy as can be, for some stupid reason. He's happy. And the youngest is happy because he's dressed, has no more shampoo on his head and his eyes, whatever. Now it's lunchtime. We had lunch early today because it's my oldest's first soccer game today. He was all excited about it, so I'm like, hey, let's go do soccer. So we did. Except he didn't eat his lunch. He kind of sat there looking at it and was like, I'm not eating my lunch. So he didn't eat his lunch. So whatever. We get in the truck, we drive down to the soccer field. Everyone's happy, everyone's good, things are fine. We get to the soccer field. Yeah, I'm gonna play, I'm gonna play. This is gonna be so much fun. Then when I say, okay, go over with the other little kids and play. No, I don't want to. He said that for the entire hour we were there. I don't want to play, I don't want to play, I don't want to play. No, I don't want to play. But then when it was time to go, he decided that he wanted to play soccer right then. I'm like, no, it's time to go. Everyone else is leaving. Everyone who has children of the human variety have their little kids acting normally, not like Satan screaming. So he decides that as I'm trying to grab him, he's going to take off and run the other way. So I have to chase after him, grab him, throw him under one arm, push a stroller in the other arm, have him scream from the soccer field to our truck with everyone, and I mean everyone, because there's like 10 other little soccer teams there with their parents and everyone. So everyone's watching me as I'm carrying a kicking and screaming child in one hand and pushing a stroller in the other, thinking, probably, what kind of psycho mother is she? Her kid is screaming. Mind you, he is screaming because he wants to play soccer, even though it's over and he didn't want to play soccer earlier. So we get to the truck, uh, and there's a lady parked right beside me. So she decides that she's gonna sit and stare as I'm lecturing my son on why he's being a little turd. Um, I was thinking to myself, you should really like just go, cause you're parked right beside me. Just go. But she stayed, and I was like, is she watching me? So I looked over, and sure enough, she is. She's watching me. Now, I'm not beating my oldest kid here. I'm just like yelling at him because really, there's no need to scream. If no one's killing you or hurting you, you really have no reason to scream. I mean, even if you're getting killed or hurt, you shouldn't be screaming. scream on the inside or something. Do it quietly. Die quietly. So then she finally leaves and I leave. All is okay now. Now I've got one kid who is hungry and pissed off because he didn't get to play soccer, and the other kid's just kind of sitting there going, whatever. So he screamed, probably from the soccer field to our house, which is about, I'm going to say, 10-minute drive. I just turned the music up louder. He didn't stop screaming. Then we get home. Now he's screaming because his socks are off, because he decided to throw his socks and his shoes off. We go inside the house. He's still screaming because he's pissed off and he's hungry. I give him a sandwich. He eats it. He is better. The youngest one starts screaming because he wants a sandwich too. I give him one. He is better. They both are all right. Then we go downstairs for a bit. They watch a movie, and I tell them it's time to come upstairs for supper. The oldest one starts screaming again, and I'm like, oh my God, why? Then, a few minutes before bedtime, I tell him, okay, it's time for bed. We're going to bed. No, takes off screaming again. I was like, really, how much screaming can this kid have in him? He just screamed like probably like 5 hours of the day away. Is he done yet? No, he's not. So he screamed as I take him and put him into bed. He's overtired. He's screaming. I'm sick of this. Then the youngest one decides that since he had a nap at 4, he wasn't going to go to bed early. So he's now screaming because I'm making him go to sleep. Because I need some time alone. He's finally in bed right now, which is only an hour and a half after their normal bedtime. Mind you, I let them stay up a little later today. Just because I really have no reason why I let them stay up that late. So, yeah, today was probably the worst day ever. And luckily for me, I get to do it again. Not next Sunday, but the one after that. And if you wonder why I'm making weird eye things, I'm wearing contacts and my eyes are getting kind of tired and stuff. Yeah, that's about it. And that's my day. Well, I'll probably have a worse day tomorrow. He'll probably start screaming again. First thing I hear when I wake up is screaming. First thing I hear when I go to bed is screaming. I mean, I should just go be a dominatrix or something. Live in, like, a dungeon. Maybe I'll get more sleep there.